It's your great character today.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Great Character podcast with me, Nathan, and I'm joined with Harry, Matt, and Lewis for episode 10. And today we're going to be talking about derbies because of the weekend, and then obviously Liverpool because I don't think Harry's very happy with the recent form.
You can tell Nathan's very excited by this week's podcast.
Well, it happens every week. Just Liverpool shocking. It's the same old.
I thought you were going to do the "What's up, guys? It's your boy Nathan, back with another video."
I don't want to say that of Comedy Shorts Gamer, I don't.
It's Comedy Shorts Gamer, man. No,
it's a head tilt as well. But yeah,
we are talking about the dreadful Liverpool.
Fulham this time. It's just getting worse and worse soon. Have you got Sheffield United at home? Because I don't think.
No, we've played Sheffield United, but I think that's pretty much the only team we've done the double over. Actually, no, we've done the double over West Ham somehow.
You'll do it over Arsenal as well. And
Liverpool.
No, not Liverpool.
I'm going to get this out of the way early. I can't see where we're going to score goals or pick up points in the next few games. I just can't see it. Honestly, of the evidence of the football I've watched, not obviously I know what Liverpool can do, but of the evidence I've watched, they could prove me wrong tonight when they play Leipzig. But the evidence of the football I've watched, I can't see how we go to the Molineux and get a point. Can't see how we play Aston Villa.
This is Phil on relegation speaking.
It's true though. Maybe we get a point at Wolves, but I can't see how we win.
I'm not gonna lie. When people were saying you were the worst champions, I didn't agree with it until now. And now,
I still don't agree.
I think Chelsea's was worse. Chelsea's and Leicester's were worse, but I think you're top three.
Yeah, but at least but I think this is the reason it's so hard is because we're in such. I'm not defending the fact that Liverpool have been really, really poor, and it's not just down to injuries. I'm not saying that just to get that out of the way because I know people think, oh, everyone's moaning about injuries, even though we have a right to. At the same time, the performances from the players on the pitch haven't been good enough. Everybody knows that. Every real Liverpool fan knows that. They've got to know that this isn't good enough either way, whether we've got injuries or not. But because of the circumstances of the season, I wouldn't put it as the worst champions.
No, I think Chelsea's was first under Mourinho and Leicester's, but Leicester's was expected. But I think the injuries have had a domino effect.
I don't know if Leicester's was because
they came 17th.
To defend it. That's the thing. It's about setting expectations, isn't it?
They still. Well, I'm pretty sure they came 17th or something.
They were shocking.
Yeah, but they weren't expected to.
Yeah, but they weren't expected to nearly get relegated, and since then they've nearly finished in the top four twice out of the last 3 seasons.
They came 12th, I think.
Oh, okay.
The following season.
I just think it's about tempering expectations.
Yeah, because obviously, if you're talking worst champions, as in of the season they won it, Liverpool are nowhere near that because they're one of the best. But since then, yes. I think the scariest thing is, the weirdest thing is, what is it? 3 months ago, we were top of the Premier League at Christmas.
It's mad.
Honestly, how time flips on.
I don't even know what's happened because you've had, surely it can't be injuries because you've had injuries before then and then bang.
Nah, it is. I think it stacked up. So, if you think we had injuries, you started off with Van Dijk, but we still had Gomez and Matip as centre backs. And then Gomez got out. Then you had Matip and Phillips or Matip and Fabinho for a while, pretty much. Then Matip was in and out. And then you had Fabinho and Henderson, Fabinho and Phillips or Williams and stuff. And then the toll got going. And then it was Fabinho, Henderson for a while. And the midfield started to then... Thiago was out for a long time. Then he came back. But then the midfield was disjointed. Jota was out for 3 months. So Jota went out. I didn't realise how bad that was going to affect us when Jota got injured. That was one of the worst ones for us. We lost such a threat when he got injured and we barely scored since.
Yeah.
And he looked sharp.
Who do you think he should come in for?
He wasn't match fit against Fulham, but he still looked sort of sharp, more sharp than Mane or Firmino has in recent weeks. And people had a go at Klopp for changing it. I'm glad he changed half the team against Fulham. We might have lost, but like the first team weren't doing it at the moment. And yeah, but the thing is, you can't rely on having Van Dijk back, having Gomez back, Matip back, Henderson back. We need to start getting results now.
Well, you don't know how good Van Dijk will be or Gomez will be once they come back from their injury.
Exactly.
Straight away.
I think the problem is, and one thing positive we got to take from the Fulham result is everyone that watches, I'm assuming knows that I have a YouTube channel now. And my first 2 videos, you can laugh at me all you want, were about how Liverpool lost to City and Leicester. And I spoke about the problems there. They're still exactly the same problems. But the positive to take from Fulham is that when he brought Fabinho on, he put him in midfield, and instantly, the 2 fullbacks pushed right up the pitch, and we were on them. And the intensity was definitely higher. The intensity for some of the players wasn't high enough, and it wasn't great, but the formation and the solidness was a lot better, and the structure was there. When Fabinho was sat in midfield, sat back, it's like the fullbacks had the freedom to just go up the pitch, and because they've been one of the biggest disappointments is the fact that they haven't created anything for our attackers. Our attackers have not been good, Mane and Fabinho, but the fullbacks have been on restraints really, because they're not confident. They don't have the cover from the centre backs or with Fabinho or Henderson in midfield that mop up behind, so they don't have the confidence to just push up. If you watch Robertson in pretty much every one of the last recent games, especially against Fulham, when he had Phillips and Williams inside of him, he literally sat. It was like it was a back 3 for the majority, especially when we had the ball. He was just sat in. Neco was going up a bit, but he was just sat in, and it was basically 3 at the back. And Robert and Jota had no support on the left-hand side.
Is that just because you're losing? No, you were losing. That's why they pushed so high.
No. He was doing that before we went 1-0 down.
No, what, Robertson and that?
Yeah. He sat in way before.
I'm talking about the attacking. Was that just because you were losing when they started attacking them?
Well, no, it started happening when Fabinho came on in the 78th minute. Okay. They weren't really doing that before.
Okay.
Neco had a really poor game, unfortunately, for the lad.
I didn't rate him that much.
Unfortunately, I don't think he's quite got the it factor. But I could talk hours about this Liverpool team. This could end up being a podcast of just literally me chatting. Literally, I could go on about this all day. It's very painful to know that last season was my highlight as a Liverpool fan, and I couldn't see it. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't celebrate it properly. And within a year, because we were making jokes, we'll just win the Premier League next season and do an open tour bus about both of them. We won't get a parade now because it just looks stupid if we paraded last season, especially in the circumstances we are in. And it's just now, within one season, we've been the best Liverpool team in my lifetime, to not the worst team, but the worst form or the worst run in Liverpool's history at home.
It's just
from last season, getting 99 points, pretty much winning every game, the 68 games unbeaten. Off the back of that, we've gone to 6 games home lost. Like, how mental is that? No one could have predicted that, even the fans that hate Liverpool the most. Like, it's like, was it like Ian said or yesterday? No, but that wouldn't even be a film drama. It's just not realistic, is it? But then when you watch Liverpool, and I don't know what it's like as an outsider, so you guys can tell me. But obviously, Matt, you're an insider. But I never watch us now think we're going to score. I never watch us and go, Liverpool can score. Every time last season, we went 1-0 down, because we went 1 down a hell of a lot last season. I was pretty confident we'd go and win that game. I wasn't even annoyed when we went 1 or 2-0 down, because I was confident. I mean, Villa and Lewis, you've had first-hand experience of that. So, like, but you could get back a bit at other things. So, but no, like, this season, you go 1-0 down, whether it's in the 5th minute or like 2nd minute, like it was against Everton, the second half, like it is being against Brighton and stuff. You never think Liverpool are going to score. You really don't. 1 goal from open play our last goal from open play at Anfield was against West Brom in December. 3 months.
Does that even count against West Brom?
Exactly. Since that goal, because we played well leading up to that goal against West Brom. Since that goal, it's just full collapse.
Matt,
Honestly,
what do you think?
There's been a couple things, but yeah.
What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, what you were saying about not being able to score, not looking like we're going to score, I think that's fair. But it comes from I think it comes from what you were saying about the mentality, like last season when we went 1-0 down, we'd be able to come back. I think a lot of that kind of, I think it's flipped and it's carrying over into this season, because it's like when you consistently going 1-0 down, when you're consistently coming back to win despite losing, or despite going down, when you're consistently going down, it makes it difficult to come back, because I think mentality is such a massive part of it. It is difficult.
I understand that, but then surely one thing they've said about Manchester United is we went down a lot, but it wasn't that every game. There'd be games where Liverpool could tear people apart, or we might go 1-0 down and win 4-1 or 3-1. But the weird thing is the confidence you get from going 1-0 down and winning and doing that week in, week out is huge for your confidence. It's massive.
I just think, like, you have one game where you go 1-0 down and like your strikers on it. What was your first game you lost at home? Was it Burnley? Or
Burnley, yeah.
Yeah,
it was the
and
last 5 minutes we gave away a penalty.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's about Southampton then. That wasn't at home. But it was the same. Like
2 minutes in.
Once you start losing, or like you're not on form, then it can just start a spiral effect or something like that.
It is. They've gone from, like, I think Kara said it best, mentality monsters to mentality midgets. And I'm someone that mental health is huge for me, and it's really important in sport. And these guys need some. I don't know. They're so down in the dumps.
It doesn't help.
They're
off the field
Liverpool
stuff has happened to a lot of players as well. Like Alisson and Klopp, like that's just all come at a poor time as well. Well, it always comes.
I think Alisson's the worst one. And funnily enough, Alisson, since he came in, might have made one error against Chelsea early on, but he's been pretty good.
Yeah,
he's come back in and made some big saves against Chelsea, made some big saves against Fulham, and looked good. It's just so. I think one of the things is, like, if you're a keeper anyway, and your two centre backs are changing week in week. He built a relationship with Gomez, Matip, and Van Dijk. Perfect relationship.
Yeah, the one with Kabak's not great, is it? Like Kabak drops too deep, and then Alisson doesn't know whether to come or not, and then they just mess up.
It's weird because Did you say you think we're playing too deep?
No, I think Kabak plays too deep.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I think Kabak, he's playing too deep, and he's making him look like an idiot because he's not used to the system and he's always out of place. But I think that's what we need to be doing right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like, obviously I love Liverpool's style of play and I want us to be intense. I want us to be fast. And I think we should still play fast football, because if you play slow football, it's very rare you'll break teams down. That's just a fact. If you want to break teams down, you got to be quick. You got to be zippy. That is how you get goals. And Liverpool haven't been that, which is why they're struggling so much. But another reason, and there's been evidence against Chelsea and Fulham, are the biggest signs you'll ever see, but Klopp won't change it because it's his philosophy, is the high line we're playing with a high line with defenders like Nat Phillips, who's been really good, but Nat Phillips and Reece Williams on a high line, and Neco Williams, the ball over the top was simple. And the first couple of the balls at the top should have been a sign that we should have dropped back a bit, dropped our line. But we didn't. And everyone knows what to do against Liverpool now, because the high line without Van Dijk, Gomez or Matip, who have real pace to get back and are just brilliant at covering that area, we're going to really struggle. And it's just been evident since that's happening and teams are working out, put the ball over the top. Chelsea did it. Fulham done it. Teams are just going to do it to know how. Burnley did it. Brighton were a lot more playing through us. They were just very good at it. But like, it's just, we're just so predictable.
Lewis, what do you think? Yeah,
I was just going to ask you, how's Kabak been for you? Like, can we get a scout report on him from you?
Unconvincing.
Oh,
I think he's shown glimpses that he could be a good centre back, and maybe alongside someone like Van Dijk or Matip in the future, he would be pretty good. But he's definitely shown signs of. Look at it. I mean, Liverpool have had a history with Robertson, Fabinho really just letting players get comfortable before they come in too quick, getting used to the style of play, and then when they're ready, coming in and making an impact. Kabak's been thrown straight in the deep end. And it's shown that he's been at Schalke where they sit so deep, they're pinned back 90 minutes. He against Leicester, first 75 minutes was brilliant, in my opinion. In his debut against Leipzig in his second game was pretty good. Thought he was one of them. I think maybe man of the match that day. Since then, though, he's definitely shown some weaknesses. He's always the one that gets caught dropping deep because he's not used to the high line. He's making silly little mistakes, misjudging balls in the air. But that said, he's very young, and I think with a solid partnership, because even since he's come in, he's not had someone he plays in, week out. I think the only time he's played with someone twice was Nat Phillips. Or he's not even, has he even done that? I don't even know. It changes every week. So Kabak hasn't even settled with anyone yet because he was with Henderson. Oh, he was with Henderson for a few games, but Henderson's got injured. He was with Fabinho. Fabinho then dropped back down to the bench. He's with Phillips. It changes all the time. So even he needs to finally find someone to settle down with. And I think that partnership is Kabak and Phillips.
Yeah,
it's hard coming from a back five system as well, which he obviously played with Schalke. And we saw that it was hard for Doherty to adjust when he went from Wolves to Spurs. So I think in time, it'll be good. I watched the Leicester game, and no, I was quite impressed with him in the Leicester game. So there's a player there.
I think maybe Liverpool was a big step up. Maybe AC Milan, I think they wanted him. And then we could have kept Tomori, which would have been all right. But I just think at the end of the day, like, injuries have had a domino effect because the players up front are too scared to try anything because they don't trust the defenders.
That's
so it becomes more.
This is the biggest thing from all of this as a Liverpool fan is, we can blame the injuries for a lot of it, and structurally it's destroyed us. It's like ripped the spine out of our team. Like, there's no disputing that. But the front three, Salah's been carrying us for a long time this season.
I was amazed to discover that Mo Salah is. I was absolutely amazed to discover that Mo Salah is still the Premier League top scorer.
It's mad.
He has struggled
at the start,
and his goals have started drying up.
Yeah,
it's mad though because Kane's been having the good season of his life. He's got a lot of assists, but Salah still scored more than him. It's mad.
It is mental.
And obviously Salah can't get assists because all his teammates are incapable.
Yeah, exactly. So Salah has been carrying us on his back for a while on the goal scoring front. And his goals have dried up. Inevitably, everybody has those patches. Salah has them every season. And normally in those patches, we have the Van Dijks, we have the Hendersons, we have the Mane and Firmino on top form scoring goals. So it's not that noticeable. And but now you've got Mane can't even kick a ball properly. He has genuinely been, I love him to bits, but he's genuinely.
It's like he's wearing wellies. Like the shot against Chelsea, where I don't even know what happened.
But he's been awful for weeks.
He just needs a bit of luck.
November,
he just needs a bit of luck. Like the ball hit him off the face and go in or something like that. I don't know.
He's been so poor, and he's had Bobby Firmino's been really poor as well, and some of the chances he's missed. Oh my word! But I still think Bobby Firmino has been giving Liverpool more than Mane has, especially in recent weeks. Like, Mane hasn't done anything other than the Leipzig one where it's handed to him on a plate. He's been really poor. And it's mental. His drop-off's been massive. And the drop-off of Firmino has been, but it's different. But yeah, he's dropped off massively. And the front three just the gap between the midfield and the front three, there's just no chemistry there at all. It's so disjointed, and the front three haven't had chemistry with each other, and they're normally free flowing at the front. They exchange positions, little flicks. Firmino does little things. Firmino can't keep the ball. Mane won't drive at people. If you watch Mane back in the day, he's got the confidence to skip past you, drive at you. He's a scary man to play against, but he's just not got the confidence to drive at anyone. He gets the ball lost up in his feet. He slows play down massively. He just slows it to a jog. Everyone gets back in position, then he passes it out wide. Robbo's not overlapping him because he wants to stay back. He's tentatively moving forward, but he's not fully committing because about the break. So he's not really overlapping Mane. So that whole left-hand side is really struggling, and we've lost out so much on because of that.
Should we move on to a bit more positive about because the weekend we've had a lot of derbies, and what do we have? How many? We had the Clasica, the Madrid. There was another one. Another one in Spain, and then what was
There's
it?
Bayern Dortmund, weren't there?
Yeah.
Somewhat of a.
Was
Somewhat
there one
of
in
derby.
England?
There's Arsenal
Uh,
Tottenham's this weekend.
Manchester's derby. That was it.
Spurs Palace was on as well. London derby.
That's not a derby. Come on.
No, but bit
It's
of
like
bragging
saying
rights.
Brighton Palace is a derby.
Brighton Palace is the weirdest rivalry in football. I don't
Can you
understand.
explain it to me? I don't understand.
So
It's
it's
just
like
like
the
it's the road
M25
between them, isn't
derby.
it? Yeah. It's like,
The
what do you call it?
M25.
Watford absolutely hate Crystal Palace because of the mascot. Well, no,
Oh,
Crystal Palace
yeah.
hate Watford because of the
Brighton's is
mascot.
because of a road. I don't know. It might not be the M25, but it's because of a road.
Is it the
I'm back to
A3? But they hate it being called that, don't they? They hate
Yeah,
it
they're
being-
like, it's a proper derby. It's
Brighton
like,
just want to be relevant,
Yeah.
but they don't really have anything going.
does
for them.
anyone watch it and go, I want to watch this scrap, this derby, Brighton versus Palace? It's going to be intense. No, nobody cares.
I don't watch either of them all
They
season.
don't like each other, did they? I remember there was a point, I think it was the first season Brighton were in the Premier League, and didn't they rip a load of seats out at Selhurst Park or something, and
Probably.
clashes?
I could never imagine Brighton fans doing
It
that.
just seems like a
They
bit
just
of a,
seem so
they're too
nice.
nice. They're too nice. It just
They're
seems like
too nice.
their fans are just a bunch of grannies.
They stand
I
at
just-
the annex, they clap like that. It's
Yeah.
nice. I thought
Yeah.
Brighton fans would be nice.
Like they're so nice, they miss like 20 chances a game as well. It's just a nice
They're
team.
literally gifting opposition points. That's how nice.
Besides
they are.
Liverpool.
Yeah, apart from they put Dan Burn
Yeah.
on the left wing and beat Liverpool.
I just make a quick warning: if we start discussing expected goals, I'm off.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm not. I
do you
don't
not like
know.
it? I don't understand it.
I
I
pay
understand
attention.
it, but I
I
don't
just
Yeah,
like
like-
no, yeah. I
I
just don't
just
pay
like seeing
attention to it.
Brighton's, to be
I
honest.
don't see the
That's it.
point in it.
No.
It's
No,
Fulham,
either-
right. Wait, actually,
It's either you
quickly,
score or you don't.
before we get into derbies, Matt, how confident are you about winning the bet now?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
but Fulham.
Yeah.
Well, Liverpool is terrible, so still better.
Oh no, Matt.
Oh
Matt.
my gosh. You're watching
you
Fulham
meant-
week in, week out, and you think they won't stay up.
Matt, Fulham are good. Fulham are good.
Fulham are good.
Like they actually have
When they beat Man City, then I'm less confident. I can't give up after a week.
No, but it's not just a week. They've been good for weeks now.
Matt's just in denial.
They should have got a point against Spurs. And you really think that Newcastle team, without
I think Brighton will go-
Wilson,
Brighton will
without
go down
Almiron,
before.
without San Maximan, can stay up?
Brighton will go down before them.
Newcastle in free fall, I'm worried about. I'm not. Gonna...
Fulham are playing Newcastle is it next week? A couple of weeks. Well, maybe it's after the international break, but Fulham are playing Newcastle at home. Fulham will win that game, and then I think Fulham will
Nah.
finish above Brighton. They could.
I
even
think Brighton
finish
will go
above-
down.
They could even finish above Burnley.
Burnley.
Yeah. So
Fulham are on a run of four. Scott Parker has got them playing. Some
he's good. He's a good manager.
He's a
Really good
handsome man and he's got a handsome team and
He's
they're
got a
doing
good-
well.
He's
See
got a
his
good,
outfit?
good.
Did you
Some,
see his outfit
good
at
suits.
weekend?
yeah.
What was that?
I just made the
You-
loss even harder.
It's like
Have you
Nagelsmann.
seen his post-match press conferences and they put like the
Yeah.
streets music? Nah, they're quality. He's good. Or
Matt,
you could
that's
see him
the
getting a
line-
big job. In the
I think he
future.
could get the England job.
Mm.
What?
I think he's better than Southgate.
Yeah, but why would he
Yeah.
go to England?
He won't
It's
get
England.
it, but he could.
Actually, no, he's too qualified for the England job, probably.
Scott Parker's only been a manager for 2.5 seasons.
Yeah, but he hasn't been relegated. No, oh, he
Yeah,
kind of got
it's
relegated.
not
But does that
fully
count?
Took over mid-season. He was already dead, weren't it?
Yeah.
And that team was nothing, not a patch on this. Their biggest things
Nah.
were Joaquim Anderson from Lyon. Oh my!
Yeah.
I know he's on loan, but what a defender!
Yeah.
Arsenal were going to sign him a few years ago in a
No, he
double
was at
deal from
Sampdoria, wasn't he?
Sampdoria.
Yeah.
They were going to get him
I
and
thought it was
Pratt.
Sassuolo.
No, Sampdoria.
Sampdoria.
Because he was with Torreira. I
Yeah,
think.
Oh yeah.
they were trying to get him in a double, but they wanted 50 million for him and Dennis Pratt, who's obviously a
Yeah,
Leicester.
Pratt
Jesus
is right,
Christ.
yeah.
So,
Well, you missed a bullet there. But
yeah.
what's your favourite derby, Matt? You watched the Clasica this weekend. Is that up there for you? I know you're a bit of a Dortmund fan.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, that's not a derby.
It's not even the biggest derby in Germany, is it? Like,
What do you mean it's
they-
not a derby?
It's not a derby.
They don't actually like it in Germany. Or
Why is
they
it not a
prefer-
derby?
Like, it's
Bayern
Bayern
Dortmund-
normally winning.
Bayern Dortmund isn't a derby.
Or do you just mean it's a rivalry?
Yeah, they're nowhere near
It's
So
it.
do you see
it's exact-
derbies? Do you see derbies as a local thing?
No, I think they're a
Yes,
mix of everything.
I think
Definitely.
they're a mix.
Yeah.
So do you see Liverpool and Man
Real.
United as a derby?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a derby, isn't it?
Barca Real was a
Liverpool and
derby.
Chelsea have a rivalry, and
If-
that's a derby.
If Liverpool United are a derby, then Bayern and Dortmund should be because
I don't
there's
know how
bad
far they are
blood.
apart.
There's
Well,
bad
But
blood for the
Liverpool,
exact same
Liverpool
reason.
and Man United are northwest. It's the
Yeah,
northwest
Liverpool and
derby.
Man United are 30
They're
miles
really
apart.
close to each other.
Yeah, but Matt, what about Bayern? No, Dortmund. Oh my God, Real
Munich's at
Madrid,
the bottom
Barca.
of the country.
Real Madrid and Barcelona ain't a derby.
Oh my God, what?
But it depends. But it's bigger than, arguably, if you're just
the
talking
biggest-
about rivalries, it's still bigger than a derby then.
Okay, we'll talk about
Barcelona-
rivalries because a derby comes under a rivalry. Then, kind of. Would you
Yeah,
say?
it's just, it depends how you look at it. Because to me, the Classica, I thought of it as a derby, but it might not be in
Like,
terms
a derby,
a
it's
derby,
because
but
of
it's bigger
competition.
than.
Though. It's been created in competition.
But
so
then
it's
for
a
Dortmund
derby, I'd say.
fans, what's bigger, beating
Oh.
Bayern or beating Schalke? I'd say
Schalke,
beating Schalke.
definitely,
Riviera
definitely,
derby.
yeah. That's what I was going to say. The biggest derby in Germany is, I'd say. Matt's googling the definition of derby, isn't he?
Definitely, definitely. Look at his eyes. No, but I think
Scanning.
The
Chelsea.
research.
Chelsea don't really have a
That's
massive one.
because we're
Spurs
like,
maybe.
yeah. I'd
It's
say
not-
Spurs is
Spurs.
The, what,
probably.
I
I'd say
think Spurs is
is
the one that's closest.
I think
In
Spurs
England,
Chelsea
what's the
in a
biggest
better
derby?
game.
I think there's only one biggest derby in England, but might be a bigger one in Scotland.
Oh
I
God,
think
the
the biggest
Rangers
one in
Celtic
England-
is bigger
The
than.
biggest one in England is Liverpool United, but Celtic Rangers is massive.
It's because like derbies are bigger when they have something else on the line. Like Man City really. It's just like because they live near each other. Celtic Rangers is
It's
like
a religion.
religion. Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah.
Like
And then-
that. Who would you back?
What now? Well,
Just who would you back if Celtic Rangers played? Who would you be backing?
Rangers.
I'm a bit of a glory hunter, Celtic Rangers.
Why would you
Celtic
back
for
Rangers,
me.
Matt?
Why would I back Rangers?
Yeah.
Because my dad backed Rangers because he's got friends because he had friends who
Oh,
support
fair enough.
Rangers.
As long as
He
you
was in-
don't
he was
just
in Army
say,
for 24
as
years,
long as
so
you don't just say
back him.
Gerrard, because a lot of Liverpool's history is very affiliated with Celtic,
Oh man.
and also so
If you-
Liverpool fans have always been, or that area has always backed Celtic over Rangers, obviously, with the whole Catholic Protestant.
Well, I mean, it's Liverpool and the East End of Glasgow. They've both got quite a bit of Irish immigration, haven't they? That's where it comes from.
Yeah, that was because they were quite good. They were quite like friendly with each other
And me
until.
personally, I'm Welsh. Wow, Welsh, but no, I am Welsh.
We're not getting onto this again, are we?
I'm a proud Welshman, and obviously the heritage is Celtic, and obviously Scotland has got that Celtic as well. And I feel like Celtic, obviously being Celtic, encapsulates that. So I'd always back Celtic. Obviously, I'm happy for Steven Gerrard, but I think the only reason I didn't mind Rangers winning it, other than Gerrard, is because it gives a bit of competition within the Scottish Premier League. But I'd still rather watch Celtic beat Rangers.
I don't actually care, to be honest. Like thinking about it,
No.
like I don't really care about Scottish
Yeah,
football.
to be honest, mate, I don't care that much. I'm just trying to make it an interesting.
Yeah, but that's probably quite a big derby. Like,
I'd just back Celtic because like I know more of their players, so that's the only reason.
I just know Ryan Kent's good on FIFA.
I just, if I was to go, I don't know if I said it last week, the stadiums I want to go to, Celtic Park and Ibrox would be right up there. Imagine going to one of those for those games as well. Like even Celtic Park for any game would be brilliant, but like a European night or just Celtic.
You'd have to go in August though, wouldn't you, for a European night at Celtic Park? Just saying.
What?
You'd have to go in August, wouldn't you, for a European night at Celtic Park? Just saying. After September, nah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Celtic Rangers are dark horses in the
Rangers
Europa
could.
League.
I'd love it if Rangers
They haven't
got to
lost this
semi.
season, have they? I don't think or something like that. Something.
Who've they
No,
got?
no, that's right. Yeah,
Who've they
They've not
got?
lost. Not lost in any competition.
No.
I
Who've they got now? Who've they got next?
think they've got some.
They've got Slavia Prague.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got
Yeah.
Slavia Prague who knocked out Leicester.
Beat Leicester, yeah.
the problem is their defense is a bit leaky, isn't it? You know that was a bit of like a 10-goal aggregate.
Oh
thriller.
yeah.
That'd be the only concern if they're looking to go all the way.
I like how
Where
everyone
would
calls.
right? This is like we're really going off topic here. But if Rangers and Celtic were in the Premier League, where would they finish?
Oh, this season.
They'd be in the
Just- no, just
championship.
then, like there's been a debate for years. If this season, yeah,
I
if
think
Rangers, and
Rangers.
Celtic
Rangers will probably finish 13th, Celtic maybe 17th, 18th.
If you put them straight in right now, I think they would both get relegated. If you put them in the Championship in League One, if you gave them 3-4 years in English football to get the money that comes with English football, both could finish in European spot.
I think they both beat Liverpool at home though.
Yeah. Nah, Gerrard wouldn't want to do that.
Halifax under 14
Let
could
us
be
get a point.
at the moment.
Gerrard would let us get a point because he just feels so sorry for us.
Yeah.
But what is it? I think the Europa League has got quite good games. I'll go
But
on
then
topic
you
again.
say that, but if Rangers are doing so well in the Europa League, how would they get?
Yeah, no,
relegated?
Yeah, but
they get
it was
relegated.
against Antwerp or whoever it was, weren't it? Who weren't
They
exactly
beat Tottenham, I swear.
Antwerp.
Yeah.
Oh, did
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, they did, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
they
the
gave
top-
him a good
The
game.
Premier
Tottenham
League is the farmers league. I
Tottenham
don't
as well.
care. Everyone says like Barcelona are embarrassing for losing to PSG, but then Leicester got knocked out by Slavia Prague. It's
No,
just,
I think
it's
the
looking
Premier
like
League,
that.
right? I still think the Premier
I
League.
think it's overrated.
The Premier League has lost so much entertainment this season. Like it really
Yeah.
has. Like
I
I've
said
always
to
loved
Matt
the
that I
Premier
think
League,
it's
and I've
become
been
too
one of the
tactical.
ones that's gone. The Premier League is the best in the world, and I've always thought that. But this season, it's been so subpar. It's been so boring to watch. The first opening few games were mental, loads and loads of goals, really interesting, really fun to watch. But since late October, November,
Ran out of steam, didn't it? Yeah.
it ran out of steam completely. And other leagues,
I think it'll be the
So
same
much
next
more
season as well, the Euros, because every player will just be knackered again. It's just
Exactly. I would agree.
Yeah.
the quality of the Premier League this season, like even City, if in a real like Premier League, City are brilliant. By the way, I'm not taking anything away from what they're doing because they're a really good side, and it's the same side that a couple of years ago got 98 points and 100 points. So I'm not taking anything away from them, but
City United.
this City intensity.
City
yeah,
United.
that was it. Yeah, I said that, but everyone just ignored it.
Oh, yeah.
And Villa Wolves.
The intensity of the league this season
Oh,
really
Derby.
suits City and might be why they're doing so well because it's not been high
No,
intensity at all. But United gave them high intensity and gave them a run. Well, beat them. So we'll
Yeah.
go on to that now.
Yeah, we
City,
will go back onto
Derby.
derbies.
It's good
In
to know,
England,
though,
what are the top
when you have
three
a pub-
derbies, would you say?
Arsenal, Spurs are up there.
I think it's like it was good, but it's been dead recently. Like I think that this may
Wait,
sound
top
biased,
three
but they
derbies worldwide. Are we talking about?
get, in England right now.
Oh, England.
We'll
And
talk
then we'll
about
go on
England and
worldwide.
then yeah.
Because
I'd go-
England derbies aren't that good.
No, I think that like you see like I think Tottenham, Arsenal's probably in there, but then obviously the Liverpool, Everton, and then Liverpool, United. I'd say,
Yeah, well, I mean,
I
I've
wouldn't
only
disagree.
or
I think
Chelsea,
I've
Fulham.
got two in England, but
Villa,
League.
Birmingham.
England top five definitely.
It's just
Oh,
don't play
What's
enough.
about Liverpool?
Were we doing
Liverpool,
Prem
Everton,
or
maybe.
England?
Yeah.
Liverpool,
Or just
Liverpool,
England.
Everton, Liverpool, Everton, maybe, but it's not really fiery.
If
But
we're
yeah.
doing England, Villa and Blues are right up at the top.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen enough. Like when it does happen,
Yeah,
like Jack Grealish gets punched in the head.
yeah, exactly. That's how good it is, man. And then I
Wolves,
don't know
West
if
Brom's all right.
who's that. Blues West Brom, you say?
Wolves.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm gutted that I haven't been to see Villa Wolves because obviously we came up and then when we played Wolves, it also shut down and locked down. So
Yeah.
Is it
gutted.
That's the thing, though. Like, other than that, you got United City, which is.
I think it's a bit
I
artificial.
saw something the other day. Somebody said
Oh.
Arsenal United is a better rivalry or a bigger rivalry than the Manchester Derby, and that it means more to Manchester United fans if they beat Arsenal than it does if they beat City. What's your thoughts on that?
15 years
Historically, it
ago.
probably does, yeah, but not now.
Yeah, I don't think now either.
Like that was one of the best games in football history, or in English history. The United Arsenal game, and Patrick Vieira and Roy Keane started having it on in the tunnel. Not having it on, that's the wrong word.
Yeah, like, I think
started fine in the tunnel.
other than that, though, so you got the Manchester Derby, you got the Merseyside Derby. I mean,
North London
you've got
derby.
Chelsea Fulham.
That's a
Can
prawn
I propose one?
sandwich.
Go on, for one in there.
Newcastle Sunderland.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
Actually, yeah,
It doesn't happen anymore, though. So.
Yeah.
Well, when it happens
Soon.
in the Premier League.
But Newcastle will be down there soon, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
I don't know how Sunderland are doing in League One. I don't know if they've got.
They're
I think
playoffs,
they're
but they're not.
Yeah.
They're not setting the world alight. or
When
anything.
does Sunderland ever set the world alight, though?
Yeah, well, their stadium does. Wee.
I think that's a good time to move on.
No,
What about abroad?
We'll be over
Abroad.
but abroad, I think Manchester United, Liverpool is one of the biggest in the world, but it's not the biggest.
I think in Brazil and like Argentina, they probably got the
Argentina,
biggest.
I
River
would like
Plate,
to be
River
River
Plate,
Plate.
Boca
Yeah.
Juniors.
There's a derby in Turkey. I think it's Fenerbahce and Galatasaray.
Oh,
isn't it?
God,
I remember
yeah.
there was a game with like 5
Mate.
red cards in, all within 5 minutes. Like
Isn't that just
2
the
years
normal
ago.
Turkish league though?
But it's like all that you
Probably.
look at the stadiums in Argentina, Turkey, and all these that are doing them, and all you see is a sea of like red fire. Because all
Yeah.
the
It's no
flares.
coincidence that the best derbies are the ones where you've got pyro, you've got tifo, and all that. You know, we ain't really got that in England, which is just sucks the life and just
Well,
the sort of
do-
tribal element of it, in my
Hmm.
opinion.
Yeah.
There's a really good story isn't there, about when Man United went to play Galatasaray in the Champions League. I can't remember when. Recently, 10, 15 years, something like that. And Galatasaray fan held up a banner that said "Welcome to Hell." And then when Man United
Oh
went
my
to
God.
Norwich had a banner that said "Welcome to Norwich, a fine city." Literally,
There's a difference.
No, but Italian fans are mental. I've
yeah.
had Italian fans come over to
Lazio,
Liverpool
Roma.
times. Oh mate, like Roma fans are scary.
Yeah.
Like they're scary. The Napoli fans when we were over were. You
That
saw
sucks.
them walking in the street with their banner, like with them. Oh my god, they're scary people. Really,
But it's
scary.
because what you call it,
They're
Napoli's
mental.
like a crime city, isn't it? Really, like it was full of like gangs and things like that, and it's just
Napoli,
bit
there
dodgy.
was real fear when Liverpool
Oh,
had to go.
Naples.
They've been twice, but there was so many times that they were told Liverpool fans warnings about going to the Napoli game and what
yeah.
to expect and what to do when they're there. And,
Wait, so you went?
places not to
Did you?
go. Did I go?
Yeah.
I went to Napoli at home, but I didn't.
Oh,
Go.
okay.
I didn't
Okay.
fly away. No.
Marseille PSG. I've just looked it up. That's a bit of a big derby, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's not a derby based on.
Oh god,
Oh,
Matt's
no.
killing.
But does it matter that much though?
It's
It's
not
still
a
a
derby.
rivalry.
It's a heated rivalry. I think it's about the same as the Arsenal Man U, isn't it? Former giants, they used to battle out for everything. That bad blood and competitive spirit are sort of, you know, followed on
I
through
think
the
the
years.
best derbies are built on like distance between each other, not competitiveness.
I could see that it's irking you that we're calling certain ones derbies when they're
Oh
right.
yeah, massively. These
What about
are-
international
these are
derbies?
So is
there
Yorkshire
any?
Lancashire a derby?
Say it again, mate. Is what? Sorry.
Is Yorkshire Lancashire a derby or a rival?
Yeah,
The derby.
yeah.
But they're
They're right next to each
technically-
other. though.
Next to each other.
Well, no, in county wise they are, but the stadiums.
Leeds, Manchester. The
Huh?
derby.
Is
No,
it?
surely it's a rivalry, but that's not a derby.
So how
Imagine
it is?
just making
right,
this up
so how
as
is-
it goes along.
So no, so Leeds, Manchester United, yes, they're close, but they're not like geographically, they're close, but they're not really, really close, are they? So how is certain ones, I don't know. I guess where do you judge the barrier? That's
What's the
best-
distance, Matt?
What's the specific distance?
The definition
About an
is.
hour. About an hour in the car.
Okay, so Liverpool Wrexham's a derby. Sorted. When Ryan Reynolds brings them up to Anfield. No,
Wait,
it's-
that makes flipping like Chelsea. I can't think of anything an hour
No,
away, which is
what-
this
Bradford?
dodgy.
Luton?
More than 5 meters in London in an hour in a car.
Oh, a big derby, Stevenage, Luton.
Massive. Great. Royston, Welling Garden City.
Hibernian
Oh, no.
Hearts. Hibernian Hearts is a big one.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Edinburgh
Yeah.
derby.
Notts County.
Nottingham
County.
Forest, Notts County.
Forest.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's a big one in Serbia, Partizan Belgrade and Red Star. I've seen that one.
Red
a few
Star's a
times.
scary stadium, you know.
They are bad people, you know. They terrify me.
Did you see the
Have you seen that
tunnel?
video?
Yeah.
The tunnel walk at Red
Mhm.
Star.
Mm.
No
I'd
surprise, even Liverpool.
I'd
in
shit
their
myself, to be
prime-
honest.
Even Liverpool in their prime couldn't beat them.
No.
Scary.
I think that's one of the very few like sort of football clubs like that sort of threaten death at a football game. Like you actually go there risking your life,
Nah,
don't
there's
you?
plenty of those. I was talking to my mate, and I said I wanted to go to a Boca Juniors game because that stadium looks intense. He was like,
Oh yeah, that's brilliant.
prepare to be killed.
between
What
them.
about in the USA? There's a couple ones. Seattle,
Oh,
Portland.
get out of here. Don't even include
I always have
the
to get
USA.
it in there
No,
sometimes.
I'm not hearing it.
LA,
I'm not hearing it.
LAFC, LA Galaxy.
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing it. That's an exhibition match. It's not even a real match.
Yeah, I was about to say I find it funny that we haven't mentioned America, and it doesn't surprise me because
It's
it's all
not.
like
Well, Matt, for
Ugh.
Matt's thing, nothing's a derby because everything's like 7 hours away.
yeah, that's
Well,
quite true.
in every sport.
That
But
Yeah,
hinders
what
America a
would that be
bit.
in American football then?
the one in Houston.
Relative, yeah, well, an hour in the UK relative to the countryside, I think.
Oh, it's.
Oh, now look, it's
it's
changed
the
now. One thing.
rules.
Right. In the
You're
NFL,
spineless.
in the NFL, Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles hate each other, but that ain't a derby. Agree? That ain't a derby.
I
That's
don't
a
know.
rivalry.
I
New
don't
York,
know.
yeah, New York Giants. That's a derby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
but like, I understand, and you're probably right. But I just find it. I don't know. I don't see there's anything wrong calling it, even if it is incorrect, maybe. But like, I don't know. It's weird.
I want
You've got rivalry.
I want to say one derby. Matt's got the book in front of him. Europe United. If you hold it up, Matt.
What the? You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
That-
That front page is the Krakow derby, which he went to, and apparently that's absolutely. You could imagine it's in Poland, so that's absolutely mental. I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know if you got to that chapter yet, Matt. But that's a good chapter.
I haven't got to that one yet. No.
No, the Krakow derby's quite good.
I'm just looking at some of the MLS derbies, and you know what? Even the names just sound sad. You've got the
Oh.
401 derby
Oh, God.
between Montreal Impact and Toronto.
Name your top 3 derbies. Then
Top 3 derbies. In the world, yeah.
yeah, in the world.
Okay. Well, Boca Juniors, River Plate.
Yeah.
I'll say Celtic Rangers and close between Newcastle, Sunderland, and Liverpool, Man United. But in lieu of saying my own team, I'll say Newcastle, Sunderland. Just because I don't want to say my own team, I'll say Newcastle. Sunderland.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I understand it, why it could be, but last week you said Tottenham Stadium's better than Liverpool's. This week you're going against Liverpool again. Are you a real fan, man?
I just don't want to be repeatedly saying my own team. That's all.
But you don't. Halifax Town Derby, whatever that is.
Burnley.
They play Santander. Halifax.
Oh wow!
Was that good?
Oh, that's going in. Oh wow!
It was subtle. It took a while to land, and then we got there.
No, but, I mean, it landed in a bad way.
Oh,
It was a crash landing.
I'll just leave now. Cheers.
Just suddenly, I take your camera away, edit you out the podcast. He's
I'll,
done.
I'll throw my derbies out
Yeah,
there.
go on then. Yeah.
There's going to be a bit of bias. The only 2 that I always like consistently watch: North London, Villa Blues, and then I'll throw El Clasico in there. I watch that sometimes. They're the only ones to watch, really.
Yeah.
I think they're all quite decent as
I
well.
think the El Clasico's good. I think. Oh, not probably not now. I'd say it's now. I'd say it's all right now. But
You're telling
Matt's-
me. You're
Matt's
telling
seething.
me Arsenal Spurs is a bigger derby than United Liverpool.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
I'm trying to think
I'd
how I
say
can
that's on the
justify
same
it.
level as
I just feel
Liverpool
like it
Everton.
is.
It's the same
Nah.
level as Liverpool Everton. The hatred between United and Liverpool is massive.
I'd love to get
yeah, but
Carlo
Tottenham,
stories on it.
Arsenal.
Liverpool, Man United.
United Liverpool is 2 biggest clubs in England, right? Arguably one of the 2 biggest clubs in the world. Like, is a bigger game than the North London derby. I'm
Think
sorry.
I
about
think that's fair.
think about just the history between Tottenham and Arsenal. You've got Sol Campbell, their skipper, going
Well,
from
look, to be fair,
Spurs
the
to
first bit is
Arsenal.
when Arsenal moved on
Yeah,
to.
but that's 2.
That's where it
Patch.
started.
You're talking
Yeah.
2001. Liverpool and United have hated each other for years.
No, it's
and
not. It's before
years.
2001. It's when Arsenal moved north of the river onto.
So I know, but he's talking about Sol Campbell.
No, but then Nathan brought up my other point. Didn't they move from? I might be completely wrong. Move
Woolwich.
from Woolwich to
Yeah, they used to be
North
Woolwich
London.
Arsenal. Yeah, to North London.
Yeah,
So I still can't. So Nathan, do you think the North London derby is bigger than Manchester United Liverpool?
you've
Hell
been
no,
to
no.
one, Nathan. Tell us.
Yeah, it was good. It was good, but it's Arsenal. Like, can they ever be involved in the top three biggest things? Besides, I don't think they can because they're just crap,
I'm
really.
sorry.
FA Cup.
I understand it's a big derby, but it's the same level as Liverpool Everton.
I think it's a bit more than Liverpool Everton.
Not much
mental.
more. United Liverpool is much bigger.
No, I think it's because there's two cities, completely different cultures
Two
going up
cities, the
against
two
each
biggest clubs in England, battling it out. It doesn't matter when it is, like how bad both teams are. Everybody in the world wants to watch it.
I don't think I've ever watched one.
Okay, maybe not then, but most football fans, it's
I'm
huge.
trying to think. I watched the
The
one
two
where
biggest
Gerrard's.
English clubs, they hate each other.
Yeah.
I hate Manchester United.
I
If I
hate
ever had
United
to
because of Ole
report
Gunnar
on them, I will,
Solskjaer.
and I will, if I get a job there or a job covering them, obviously I won't be bartering and I'll respect it. But I hate them. Like,
I mean,
and
you
that
did
might go
what
with
Matty
the way I
Tyler
judge them. I hate them with a passion. That hatred.
What'd you say,
oh,
Matt?
Say again, mate.
What did you say?
I said he just did what Martin Tyler does. He's managed to get himself a job, and
that's a
he
big
don't let the
thing.
like of
I
Liverpool.
think, right, Martin Tyler gets a lot of disrespect.
I think he's
I
good.
think maybe recently he's tailed off in recent years, but to do what he's done for this long and be this good, I think.
He is
Oh
iconic.
Yeah, he's iconic.
He does not. He is not biased.
I'd say he's the best comment. I like Peter Drew, but I think he's too dramatic. Like it was like a Burnley Newcastle game, and he was making it dramatic. Like
And it's live.
And it's live.
Martin Tyler, he's just good.
He is, but no, I'm obviously it's your opinion, Lewis, and I respect your opinion, but
it's wrong.
Today, that I think that Manchester United versus Liverpool at Anfield.
What are your three then, Harry?
I'd say I'd have to agree with Matt. The Boca Juniors River Plate and Rangers Celtic are the biggest two. I don't know which one I'd put in which order. I might say the Rangers Celtic one top, but I mean, actually maybe. Oh, I don't know.
I just remember Boca's River in the final of the what is it? The South Copa Libertadores, and I had to get banned because of crowd violence.
And we spoke about Galatasaray versus Fenerbahce. That's massive. So might even throw that one in there.
That's a bit of a try dab, isn't it? Besiktas are involved in that as well. So that's kind of like.
So maybe I'll put my own team in there. United Liverpool. That is one of the biggest derbies in the world.
I'm gonna go a bit different,
but
I'm gonna go Brazil versus Argentina. Football.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
And then Boca's. I just think the biggest ones are in the South America. Yeah, Boca's Argentina. Boca's River Plate, and then got to be Chelsea Fulham.
Chelsea Fulham's bigger than Arsenal.
You are joking. No, he's joking. He's joking.
No, but
he's there.
I still want to get back onto that debate that I do think, yes, Arsenal.
Wait, no, I'll go Seattle, Portland, actually. I always got to get Seattle in there. I
saw LA Galaxy and San Jose Earthquakes are rivals, apparently. I'd imagine
it's just the last bit on the name.
Why are we even talking about MLS? It's not even interesting.
It's a good league. No. It's a good league.
Harry, it's not a good league.
Harry, what if you get a job covering the MLS?
Yes.
You're
the only job I wouldn't get. I don't. Oh, actually.
Oh, now we've changed. Now.
Right, I love the MLS.
There's only one job I wouldn't take. I won't say it on the air because I don't even want to say their name, but they can be. Everyone knows.
Put it in the chat, Harry.
Everyone knows who I'm talking about. As a Liverpool fan, there's only one company I definitely would never work for, even if it was the only job left on the planet. But I would work for the MLS. I guess I'd have to learn to grow it. And it's a brand, it's a franchise, but it's
growing. It's getting better.
I would agree, Nathan. I think
it's like League One level for League Two level. But that's more exciting. I'd rather watch a League Two, League One game than an MLS game. I'd rather watch the Scottish League than MLS.
I would agree.
Anything.
Yeah.
I would agree. Sorry.
We're not scripted, just a bit.
Like the fact that the Portland every time there's a goal, they chop a log of wood. Like, what is that?
I think
They're
that's
trying to make
class.
that interesting. They literally
That's
shout like they've got their little
It's
chants.
just two completely different cultures.
It's just not. Football isn't made for America. It's just. It's
Football is
good that they're-
British.
I mean, fair enough that they're doing it, and I'd cover it, and I'd probably enjoy it and make money from it. So that is it. And I
wanna do it one
I'd
day.
learn about it more. But to me, MLS is where all the best players or all high level players go to retire and finish.
I think that's what they've owned it though. Like, they've accepted it and they've made it like Ibra. They loved Ibra over there. Ibra loved it over there. And who else was there?
half of the
Beckham.
name. Like I'd say
Henri.
10.
Henri, yeah.
I reckon
David Villa.
how much of the
Really?
nation, how much of America actually follows soccer? Probably like 2%.
Soccer.
Well, isn't it the most? Isn't it in the top 10 most watched leagues in the world?
Yeah, but I mean from Americans.
Well, I'd assume most of those numbers are Americans.
Yeah,
No
like
one else really watched.
when I went to it was pretty decent. The atmosphere and the
I still can't believe you say that. It just doesn't seem like it would be.
I want to go out and work there one day. I really do. I
want to go, right. I want to go to America and tour America with the biggest sporting events and stuff.
That'd be
I
incredible.
But
said
I'd
that to you
rather
yesterday,
go.
Matt.
I'd rather go. Well, me and Nathan have spoken about that. Like
We gotta do it. Yeah.
Driving around in a big van, going around
Just a
America.
big van.
Ah.
And we could make a documentary on it, like with the
Yeah.
camera on the shoulder, have Lewis in the back and
Lewis.
Matt in the back filming. I'm joking, not was filming. But like, there's definitely way more events in America I'd rather watch than.
I think you should go. I
know.
think you should go to an MLS match, and then you'll realise you'll like it. You get
Blimey,
free
yeah.
socks as well.
Fly me there, buy me the ticket, and pay for the hotel. I'll go.
If you get your way over to America, and I'll buy you a ticket.
It'll just feel like an exhibition or a friendly to me.
Ooh.
It would.
I
Like,
think the
like
English,
sitting at the cricket. I love cricket, Matt, by the way. But like sitting at a meaningless T20 blast game, that's what it feels like to me, I think.
Just could.
Like watching Northampton.
I also like the format of the league a bit. I like because it follows the NFL and the NBA and stuff like that. I do like
I
that
don't
format.
like that format.
I think if we do this is going to. I think it's basically just the Champions League. Actually, I take that back. I was going to say if we ever do a Super League, that's what it should be. But it's the
I
Champions
hate
League.
the Super League. Please, if anyone watches this that has any affiliation with UEFA, FIFA, Premier League, I know no
Andrea
one ever
and
will.
Jelly.
Please, I beg you, don't do the Super League. If anyone high up in Liverpool ever watches this, I'm a massive Liverpool fan, as everyone knows. Please don't do it. It will kill English football. It will kill us. No English fan will back it. I doubt.
you're-
Our headlines:
if you
Super
do
League,
work-
Super League plans scrapped because of the Great Counter podcast.
Because of Harry Bamford.
if they are watching, be sure to like and subscribe. You know,
Yeah, definitely
it's great
subscribe, please.
content.
That just reminds me of whenever I hear like and subscribe, please like and subscribe. Tweet me at David Dobrik.
Oh yeah, he's got a load of hate recently. for
Yeah, he
David
has.
Dobrik, but he's a millionaire.
It's
so
very
it doesn't really
interesting.
matter,
But
does
that's not our
40.
neck of the woods, really, is it?
Next week we're doing top 10 YouTube rivalries, so that'll be good.
Yeah.
KSI
10
Deji,
YouTube matches.
What did you
Logan
think of
KSI.
what did he say? What's his name? Oh, I forgot his name. The guy that came on the lectures the other day. The boxer.
Yeah, the boxing guy. Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot his name.
McKenna.
Chris
McKenna.
McKenna. Right. He spoke about, and I asked, because I don't back them either, the whole YouTube boxing thing. And like with the Jake Pauls and stuff, I really don't like it either.
I think if there's an exhibition match, you can't get annoyed by it. It's just like a testimonial, like
no, but
you
with
can't-
the
But
KSI,
when KSI and Logan went professional, I think it was a bit of a joke on the sport because
Yeah.
he said that Rio Ferdinand's done it. Like he went throwing boxing but didn't do anything. It's just dumb.
they do it, and Freddie Flintoff did it.
Yeah.
I do agree. It was interesting where he's like about his view on MMA. What did you think about that, Lewis?
What did he say again?
Do you
Did
think
he say that he was-
doesn't care for it? Doesn't.
Oh yeah, I just want to say something about the MMA. Once again, Matt got his UFC predictions all wrong. He said,
We got Adesanya
yeah.
wrong.
yeah, Matt said Adesanya and he lost.
I
Said the
on
girl.
on the podcast said that Jan Blachowicz would win.
He did
I
actually. I remember you saying
definitely
that.
did not-
You
I-
changed.
Harry,
You
don't lie.
changed. I can pull up the text now. I'll screenshot it and put it on the screen. Lewis changed his mind and said, if I don't back Adesanya and he puts on a masterclass, I couldn't forgive myself.
Whatever
Still
you're
a lot
seeing
of
on
headlines.
whatever you're seeing on screen now is photoshopped.
No, it's not. I
I've
can
been
literally get it on my
experimenting with
phone now.
Adobe.
Right,
but Nah.
right.
yeah.
You.
I did. You forced me to admit it. I did change it, last minute.
I
I saw
told
Sterling got
win.
what do you call it? Got a bit lucky. Someone like illegally
Right.
kicked him.
My opinion on it. We'll go. We have time. So UFC 259 happened. Aljamain Sterling is now the bantamweight champion. At the time, I was like, Jan, disgraceful. He shouldn't. I still think that. He obviously
Stupid.
purposely need him in the head pretty hard. Aljamain Sterling was flawed. He was, and the thing is, Jan was comfortably going to win that fight. I think at the time he was going probably that would have been either 4-1 or 3-2 at that point if he carried on in that round.
4-1, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and then comfortably winning the fight. Sterling was gassed. I don't know why he did that, but
blew
it
his
has to
load.
be a disqualification and a belt to Sterling. There's no other outcome. I'm glad they did that. The problem I've had since, Sterling at the time seemed very like, we've got to do this again. He didn't want to accept it this way. Since then, he's held parties, challenged Henry Cejudo, not really wanted to fight Jan anymore. And it's like, oh, come on, bro. You won it because you got, like, rightfully so, you were given the belt. But you still need to fight and prove you're better than Jan. You can't just win it off that, I think. He needs to go back. And he's now starting to talk about Cejudo, other things. And it's like, bro, you can't do that.
The
That's just
problem
running
is,
away.
I don't blame him for wanting to not want to fight Jan again, because he got brutalized at his own game. He was getting suplexed. He was getting spinning elbows.
Mate, he's meant to be the guy that can take people down, submit them. He got 1 out of 18 or 20 takedown attempt. He just was like falling on him. Jan was takedown defense was amazing. Like,
I think what did it for him was it was the volume at which he struck at, and I think we were obviously messaging and we were scoring the first 2 rounds for Aljo maybe. Although you do
looking back, I think the second one was Jan's. Probably.
You do have to look back at it, because I think all of his punches were being blocked actually, and he was
they were just little
throwing them for the
feints.
sake of it, weren't it? Yeah. So I think the wrestling made the difference in that fight. Jan was incredible, man.
Overall, that whole event was very disappointing. We stayed up till 6:30. Me and Lewis were going to do a Zoom.
I was thinking about staying up, but then I was like, I can't be asked.
But we ended up just messaging because of the time in the morning it was. And I was watching it from 1 o'clock. Lewis was watching it from the early ones in 11, was it? 11:30 at night?
Yeah, 12.
Yeah, so I was watching it from 1. And you wait, and then the first one ends in an anticlimax disqualification. The second title fight ends within a minute and a half.
Shouldn't have
Nunes
happened.
brutalized Anderson. Anderson
Oh, yeah, I saw
didn't
that, yeah.
touch her.
That was
Didn't
one of
touch
Matt's
her.
predictions that he got wrong.
Yeah.
She got hit. She got hit twice, and she did a photo shoot after, and there's not a single bit of red anywhere on her face. It was a woman versus a girl, unfortunately. And, it was just a
Nunes
complete
is
mismatch.
amazing, though. I can't see anyone ever beating.
Yeah.
He
Apart
said
from
that Shevchenko at
Shevchenko.
135, they fought.
Doesn't she
before.
have a wife in UFC as well?
It's her cornerman. Or cornerwoman,
Oh.
sorry. No, it's a
I think she
cornerman.
fought at flyweight, Nina Ansaroff.
Yeah. But she's not fighting at the moment. She's just had a kid.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then the final one, Adesanya basically fainted Blachowicz for 3 rounds, tried to draw him in. Blachowicz flinched at every single one, but Adesanya didn't capitalize. And then Blachowicz wrestled him for 2 rounds and won. It was the most boring thing ever.
I think we need to give Blachowicz much more credit than what we're giving him. I think it was down to his excellence more than Adesanya's sort of poor sort of form. And I was looking back at my scorecards from the fight, and I scored the first 2 for Adesanya, 3 and 4 for Jan, and then last round for Jan, actually. I don't know what I was thinking or smoking. Yeah, I know, because we were messaging, but looking back at it, I've rewatched the fight. I think you've arguably got to give Jan a few rounds. Like, I don't think it was a 3-2.
I rewatched it. I still think Adesanya was doing more, but maybe it was the way you interpret it, because it looked like he was doing more.
It was the leg kicks, wasn't it?
Yeah, I still think Adesanya won the first 2 rounds.
Do you?
Yeah,
I'm not
even
too
watching
sure.
it back.
Yeah, I have to watch it back one more time.
But I don't want to watch it back again because it was just so
No.
boring.
Well, maybe if you're trying to get to sleep at night, then it might do you a
Literally.
favour. But
Matt, did you
I
enjoy
think
the
it's on
fight?
par, it's on par with the Romero one.
oh, I'm so glad we didn't get Matt to watch it. Matt would have never
Actually, yeah,
watched
Matt,
it.
you would
yeah.
never watch MMA again. honestly.
Never.
We talk
he
about how
gassed it up.
enthralling. The early fights were incredible. Leading up to the
Insane.
big fights,
Yeah.
the last 5 fights, they were great. All the prelims, everything. I loved it.
5
there's
fights,
two-
5 finishes.
Mate, and then
that's
Santos,
incredible.
what was it? Santos Rakic, rubbish.
Yeah.
Absolute snooze fest. The 2 fighters that have got explosive power, a massive snooze fest.
I did call it though. Rakic decision. I think
Yeah.
my predictions were quite tidy last
What
night.
were the what was the
Or
other,
the other
fight
night.
of the main card?
Let me find it.
Makachev.
Islam.
Over.
Yeah, that was an incredible performance.
It was an incredible performance, but I hate watching it because
At that time of the morning, it was like what, maybe 3. I was like, oh Jesus Christ, get this off my telly. But yeah, in hindsight, I think if I was a bit more up for it and a bit more like awake, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. It was excellence from him, and I think he's calling out Dos Anjos now for a fight. I think that's a brilliant fight.
Makachev will end up being the lightweight champion.
Yeah, it's just activity that's hindering him.
Yeah. Anyway, we weren't really meant to talk about the UFC, but it is exciting. Look, Nathan's sunk in his chair now.
Well, it was meant to be interesting, but by the sounds of it, it was pretty dead. But
But Matt, please don't let this conversation put you off watching one in the future.
to be fair, I don't think Matt was listening.
Please. But I don't know how Matt's going to stay up. I honestly don't know how Matt will stay up.
No, he
Because
watched the
it
Super
literally is
Bowl.
that late.
He watches the Super
No
Bowl.
problem. Yeah,
You're an
I like
early
that.
bird, aren't you? Matt, I've just realised how long your neck is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Whoa! Oh my word! Look at my little stubbly one. Mine looked awful because I've got this bum fluff around it, but I've already told you. But at least I can grow something.
Yeah.
Whoa. Be
Let's
careful.
see that. Go on, zoom in on those.
Be
3
careful. Oh, you're going to do a digi zoom now. My face is going to be like, whoa. No, don't do that.
Is there anything
I know
else we
Nathan
want to talk
can't
about?
grow anything.
What are you on about?
That's
It's
just the redness of your cheeks, mate.
Yeah.
The lighting and doing me justice.
Yeah, no, that's true, actually, yeah. Is that everything?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Take it away, Nathan. It's your time to shine.
Actually, one more thing, just a one more answer. Who would be your outfield shout for an England call-up? Because I said it in the group chat, but like an outfield shout. One word. Matt.
Lewis Dunk.
That's 2.
Just dunk. Yeah.
Ezri Konsa.
Barnes.
He's not going to be fit, is he?
Was he not? Oh, of course he's injured. Oh, God. I didn't want to say a
I
Villa
don't know. He
player.
might be fit, but I don't know. It'll be great, but he won't be playing, so he might not get.
Yeah. I didn't want to say a Villa player, but one word. Consa. In that case.
Yeah, Konsa.
Yeah.
And Cho.
Cho.
Guy.
Oh,
You're
God.
mad. No, come on.
Ah, he could.
Where does he play?
Just on the
Well,
bench.
he's just a backup, isn't he?
Decent backup.
I'd rather have Saka right wing for a backup. Oh, sorry, I'm changing my shout. Target.
No.
We need.
No.
In fact, he'd be a backup, but it is England's.
We
second
got
best
Shaw
back.
and Chilwell.
Target's better than Chilwell.
No, he's not.
Nathan.
All right, well, that's
Please.
it. We're going to end.
I know
Lewis,
that.
you're a mug.
I know people that don't like Chilwell, and Target's probably he has had a better season than Chilwell, but Chilwell's a better player.
I think I'm shutting out my rid, to be fair.
I'm a
I don't
bit
actually rate Target that highly.
Yeah,
He's
I'm a
good. He's good.
iffy
But
about
I'm not-
Chilwell. I don't
as
know
long
if
as
he is-
nobody says Matty Cash, Lewis Bickley.
I don't know if Chilwell's that good. Like, he's okay, but
What right backs do you take?
James and Trent.
We need to do a
What about
like, whole
what about
podcast on this.
Wan-Bissaka and Walker?
We really do.
Nah, Wan-Bissaka's dead. He's just a flipping. He's not that good. He's okay. He's
What
good at
formation
defending.
would
He's the
you
best
play?
defender.
I think we've got to play 3 at the back. We do
4-4-2.
have.
Yeah, but what 3 would you play? Like, I'm not hearing Harry Maguire. Anyone that says Harry Maguire,
John Stones, Consular, Reece James.
I don't know if we
What?
saved it.
Reece James is a centre back.
Yeah, then Trent, and then Luke Shaw.
I don't know if we saved this for another week. I think this is a
You're
great
telling me?
topic. Like closer
Michael
to the
Keane's
time.
got to be in there.
Who?
Michael Keane.
I don't
Yes.
know.
He's one of my outfield shouts.
He's good, but like he is
I don't
very
mind him.
good. But
He's had a good season.
I don't know. Should we end
Nah,
it here?
what's
Save it
your
for-
opinion?
On Michael Keane.
No, just England. Outfield shout, outside shout, anything.
He said
Well,
dunk, didn't he?
Oh yeah, you said dunk.
That,
I don't
that,
think he will.
that Brighton back line, I'd have two of them in there, to be honest. But
Lamptey, you wouldn't put Lamptey.
No, I think he's talking Ben White, isn't he? You talking Ben White?
I'm talking Ben White, yeah.
Yeah.
Ben White's a better centre back than.
Dan Burns.
White, yeah.
Dan Burn. Could you imagine him balling against France
Now
and
he's
Germany?
playing left wing, bro.
In the
Dan Burns
final,
playing left wing.
chuck him up front and get the crosses in.
Oh, could you
Not
imagine
losing a
Dan
header.
Burn, Euros winning goal? Boy, God.
We
Oh,
should predict
outfield
our
shout,
squad.
Jesse Lingard.
We should predict our squad. But I'm a Wales fan, so I've got to do the Welsh one as well.
Do you support Wales or England?
I support
for football,
Wales
surely
until they get
football.
knocked out.
Really?
Boo.
Yeah. Well,
Fraud.
basically, right, I've always wanted Wales to win in the football, but they've never really been in the big tournaments. So I've always been used to, as a kid, supporting England. But then if Wales play England, I went too far the other side of Wales. When Wales played England in the Euros, like I was fanatic. I hated England for some reason. I don't know why. But like now, if Wales play England, I want Wales, obviously. But if Wales got knocked out, if England were playing someone else, I'd always want England to win. And I'd back England to go all the way. But if they met Wales in the final, I'd want Wales. In the rugby, it's different though. I've always been brought up not liking England in the rugby. Always. It's the way I've been raised. Just don't like them.
Just hate the English
Shame.
people.
Like, it got so much like I didn't even want them to win the Rugby World Cup final against South Africa. I was glad.
I was upset in that day.
Especially because South Africa beat Wales. So it's like, oh well, at least they beat both of us.
I was well upset in that day.
It was a shit game.
It was crap. And South Africa was so much
You've
better.
gone the
Oh,
whole pod
quickly
without
then.
swearing.
6 Nations this weekend. 3 games. You got Wales. Wales playing Italy. That's straightforward. Then you got England, France, and Ireland.
Come on,
Scotland.
You know what? I'm gonna let Matt do the predictions first because he's normally quite good at these, and then I'll let Lewis do. Matt.
What's that, mate?
Who's going to win out of England, France?
England.
Please say France. Please say France.
Oh, I said England.
No, Lewis.
As you know, I'm a very passionate rugby fan. So I think with my expertise, I'm going to say Les France.
Wow.
It's the way Matt says it. If he goes, it's a really tough game. It's going to be really close, but I think England might scrape it. But he goes, England, easy. England, I'm so confident. England. when we asked him about Liverpool and United, Liverpool, easy. Liverpool. Or Liverpool Everton. Oh, Liverpool, easy. Easy win.
Liverpool Chelsea. He said
So
Chelsea,
much
didn't he? Did he
confidence.
say
I don't
Chelsea?
get where you get it from because England have been subpar. They're not. Right, you watch rugby properly, don't you, Nathan? Do you watch the Premiership?
Sometimes, if it's not like football or
Exeter
something.
Chiefs number 8, Sam Simmons. Why is he not in that England team?
Yeah, it's just I don't know why he called up any
Incredible.
Samson's players really.
He's incredible. He's
Yeah.
so quick as well. And like you got Billy Vunipola, he's brilliant, right?
He's just rusty.
But he's rusty. So why not bring Sam Simmons in? He's playing every week. He's in the form of his life. He's scoring so many tries. He got 2 against Bath last week.
I think England will win.
Oh no, he got 1 against Bath last week. Did he get 1?
England will win.
Who are the favourites?
France.
France.
I'm confident then.
I
England
think,
strong suit,
right,
yeah.
okay, who's going to win out of Wales, Italy?
Italy.
What?
It's
Wales.
Yeah, Wales.
Now Wales will win, and then Ireland will beat Scotland.
I'm not sure. I think Scotland might beat Ireland, you know.
That's the closest one, yeah.
It's not what you think. England France is not as close as Ireland Scotland.
Right, 48 now.
Oh God, it's happened again.
Right, you know who to put your money on. Right, we should do a segment, Matt's predictions, and whoever Matt predicts, put your money on the other
Put your
team.
money on the other one, yeah.
Okay, man. What about tonight in the big games? PSG, Barca, and what's the other one? There's another one. I can't
Liverpool,
remember.
like-
Liverpool.
Oh yeah, that crap game as well.
Who?
Who are you going for, Matt?
Who's that?
Liverpool, Leipzig, PSG, Barca. Who's going through?
Well, out of fear. Well, see, that's the thing. If I say Liverpool now, then it's completely
Don't predict the Liverpool one.
draw. Liverpool, Leipzig tonight.
They can't both go through, Matt. You have to say one.
Draw.
No, Matt, who's going through? Who's
Don't
going through?
answer it. Don't answer it, please. I'm begging you.
Say the Reds, Matt. Say the Reds.
Come on. You've already said they're not the biggest rivalry.
I'm not saying Liverpool. I refuse.
So you're saying Leipzig?
That means
Leipzig.
saying Leipzig are going through. Just say it.
Some fan, Matt. Some fan you are.
I can't say
I know.
Leipzig. I can't back the other team against Liverpool, even in Jack.
Come on, Matt. Just say it.
Leipzig.
Up the Leipzig.
I'm going Barca comeback as well.
If it was in Barcelona, I might think they might, but I don't think they will because it's in Paris.
I think they'll give them a game, but I still
No,
think
they've changed it around since the defeat. You know, they've got 3 at the back. They're looking better. Beat Sevilla twice. It's
I think
comfortable.
they'll give them a really good game, but they won't beat them. They won't.
I think
they won't
I
get
think they'll lose an aggregate, but win tonight.
Yeah, I'd back that one. I just love Matt prediction segment. It has to happen.
It has to happen.
It has to happen. Right. If anybody's watching, vote. Matt prediction section. Matt's predictions. It'll just be him on his own. He's going to tell you what he thinks and bet against them. Bet against all of his predictions and
Put
see
your
how-
life savings on anything Matt doesn't
We're
say.
not advocating betting because betting isn't great.
But we also won't repay you.
No.
You know, we are not
But Matt's
at fault
predictions
for you
are
losing any
shocking.
money.
I want to see how many he gets right. So he said England, Italy. You haven't said Ireland or Scotland. Who are you going for?
Scotland.
Scotland.
Same.
He said, do you say Barca or PSG?
I think PSG.
And you said Leipzig.
No, but I don't want Leipzig.
Yeah,
I said draw first of all.
Come on, Leipzig.
Said Leipzig.
Well, if it's a draw, then Liverpool go through.
Yeah.
Oh no! He said Liverpool are going to go through.
Oh,
Oh, the day get the
It was a good. It
It's
was a
over,
good.
boys.
It was a
We
good
haven't
run,
even watched the
Reds.
game, but it's over.
Yeah.
Ever since I've known Matt, Liverpool have been rubbish, and it's all because he always predicts them to win.
Matt, you're too good. You're too good of a Liverpool fan. You need to
You need to just
restrain
be
yourself.
realistic.
He's stressed. Look how stressed he is.
This is the best segment of the podcast. It needs to be at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll start. I'll make a little theme tune. Matt's predictions, and you can intro and be like, "Hey, today you ready to lose some money?"
Yeah.
I just want to see. The
can't
Six
wait.
Nations ones are the one that's interesting. You said 48-0 to England.
I didn't
With
say
confidence.
that
You
was a joke.
did.
That was a
You
We
joke.
said
play
that with
the
your
clip.
chest.
I'm replaying the clip. It's not what you think. England France is not as close as Ireland Scotland.
Right, 48 now.
With your chest, you said 48 now. I'm replaying it here.
I'm not saying that again. No, that was a joke.
Why are you so bad at predictions, Matt? I do
I
want
have no idea. Genuinely, I don't know what it is.
I think everyone's bad at predictions. Like everyone I know is bad. Like Sam Collins is shocking. Always on Twitter.
I'm not
I'm-
awful.
I'm shocking. I don't know about Lewis. Actually, Lewis kind of.
I'm keeping track of my UFC predictions at the moment, and for the year, I've got 53 right, 40 wrong, which is pretty dire. So
I think
That's not dire. That's not that bad.
That's 50%. That's a lot better than
That's
that.
Right, Nathan.
Thanks for listening, and goodbye.
That is the best outro of all time. Right. Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you next week.